Hi everyone, it's Pat here talking about exercise 10 and Paul's approach. I think the best example I could think of from a cultural context perspective is regarding the addition of 3 immigrant families to our church over the last 6 months, all from the same culture, and it's been wonderful to get to know them. But as I've seen them come into our church family and become part of our fabric, I can't help but notice through my own observations that the women in these families behave in a manner that's very submissive and secondary to their husbands. So to protect their culture, I'm not going to name them, but there does appear to be a deeply patriarchal society. There's been discussion of forced marriage, the male head of the household being the only decision maker. So it's in this setting that I want to talk about Paul's approach and how that can potentially be highly effective here. I think it's important to really look at these cultural situations for the context, using observations, using understanding of the culture, in order to understand areas of commonality as well as potential roadblocks. The goal, as I see it, is that these families together need to become mature in Christ and to reflect Jesus in all they do. So, looking at myself as a future pastor of this congregation, I'd be looking at ways for both the men and the women to understand equality in action, and demonstrating that through the church, through the various activities in the church, getting the women more involved, helping the men to see the women more involved, whether that's in small groups or having women take on key roles in the church. But to get there, it's really about building relationships. It's about creating trust. It's about ensuring that the women understand they're in a safe place and that they see that their husbands are observing all of this and supportive and participative as well. I think helping the women understand that they're never going to be asked to do something that the rest of the congregations couldn't also be asked to do as well. And so through preaching and through teaching, the congregation has to learn to look at each other's interests as more important than their own. So in this case, I see the circle of influence as the congregation, and therefore within the 4 walls of the church, I think it's totally fair to be talking about equality, to openly preaching on common values and that getting gender divisions removed. But this approach is also about learning the roadblocks, and it's also about looking at keeping and respecting home life, and recognizing that we only have a circle of influence in the church, and that outside of the church, respecting the cultural context of home situations, in the hope that following Jesus can change those for the better outside of the church. So that's my example. That's what I currently see today in my ministry, and looking for your comments, looking to hear your thoughts, and to read to hear your videos as well. Have a great night, everyone.